Y'all, these 28th hour letters of truth are something different, okay? Let's see what I got, y'all. The first letter is called My Husband Got a Promotion and I Hate Myself for Being Jealous. Then we have I Found Out My Friend Has Been Talking About Me for Years. I caught my boyfriend searching for engagement rings for another woman. And lastly, my ex left me and now wants me back because his new relationship failed. Y'all tune in to hear how these letters go, the ups, the downs, and the in betweens. Check it out.
It's the 28th hour experience with K Camille, where you know it's real. It's the 28th hour experience with K Camille, where you know it's real. Current events, different topics with a twist you can't miss. K Camille, 28th hour experience.
Hey y'all, what's the deal? It's your girl K Camille with the 28th hour experience where you know the stories are real. So welcome back. If you are new here, hello. Welcome to the 28th hour experience. I'm your girl K Camille and welcome back to my 28th hour insiders. I hope you guys miss me as much as I missed y'all. Let's start here. That episode 31 with Jakia Robinson was everything. If you haven't checked it out, the link will be in my description below. I genuinely enjoyed talking to her. Yes, she's my sister. Yes, I love her. But besides that, she really dropped some gems that I feel will be beneficial to a person who wants to be inspired, wants to stay inspired, is an entrepreneur, does things with nails because she is all things nails, and she really got into her bag about how she built her brand brick by brick with the guidance and the foundation from the Lord. And, if that sounds like something that you want to get into, please check out that interview and it will be linked below. So shout out to Jakia. Please go follow her if you haven't already. She's a really, really sweet girl and she has upcoming classes for her Russian manicure service. So if you want to add that, if you are a nail girly and you want to add that to your service, that is the girl that you would want to get some tutelage from in that area. Okay. So let's move on. And I want to talk about, episode 32 as a whole. And it is called The Ups, the Downs, and the In Between. So basically, you know, what do you do with all the emotions that come with the highs and the lows? Those seasons where nothing seems to be happening at all. Is it autopilot or is it a survival skill? And is it keeping us from fully living? So, when we talk about our current events beyond the headlines and when we get into the 28th hour of truth, I want you to think on those things. Like, with all these emotions, like, what do you do with that? And if you are experiencing some of those things, comment below. I am interested. Now, y'all know I do Song of the Week. I actually missed doing Song of the Week. We missed it. So this Song of the Week is Sweet Blue by Cleo. So she is a vibey artist. Very soulful, very more on the modern side. So she's a newer girly. And it's my zone out song, especially when I'm outlining for the podcast. I love driving to it. It's a very reflective song and it's just very beautiful. Like, it puts you in a mindset of like when you turn on Jill Scott, Erica Badu, and you just got that in the back, playing like a honey molasses. I can't even, like, Next Lifetime. Like, it's one of those soulful. She's like a neo. She would have fit really well in that neo soul group of that day because her music is really good. So I want y'all to go check out Sweet Blue by Cleo. So I think my track record speaks for itself. I've been bringing up some good music. So please check it out. What I wanted to bring up before I got into Beyond the Headlines was an internet sensation personality who was so sweet. His name was John West. Rest in peace to him. He passed away from natural causes, but his story was so touching because he was an adult living with autism, and his god sister was taking care of him after she found out that he wasn't being treated properly. And just watching him, blossom and just live his life to the fullest was just a treat because it just made you mindful, and it also made you be grateful and that life is happening and it is still good people out here, because seeing her do that for him just put a smile on your face that it is still good solid people out here. So I hope that she gets through this, because I know it can be very hard for her, because she spent a lot of time with him and their family as a whole. So rest in peace to John West. I'm praying for you and your family, and thank you for sharing him with us. Really, thank you for sharing him with us, and he will be missed on my timeline, I'm telling you. Now, I wanted to go to Beyond the Headlines because it is something that we need to talk about, because we haven't gotten into the current events for a minute now. What I wanted to talk about, I knew for a fact when we got here, was the New York floods. So the weather got kind of crazy where it was summertime for a minute in a couple of places. Here in Michigan too, it was like about 90 degrees, and then it was a big thunderstorm and New York flooded. Look at this. That's crazy, right? And it just got me to thinking, like, okay, why are all the, you know, things that we used to, okay, it's a thunderstorm, okay, this is that, it's detrimental, even with New Orleans. Like, it's so many things that are happening that it's like, okay, they're telling people in New Orleans 10 years from now, New Orleans may be no more. One big rain and it's out of here, because they're already under sea level, where they're eye to eye with boats, sitting on their pier. It's a very scary time. And New York doing that where the subway is flooded like that. That is creepy. And it made me think about the day after tomorrow, like 2012. That's what it gave me that. Talking about more stuff going on around the world, the Cuba power crisis, um, imagine waking up not knowing if you'll have power today. No Wi-Fi, knowing if the food will stay cold, uh, clean water, let alone water at all, and you'll be sitting in the dark for 20 hours, 20 hours, 20 hours. However, and that's the reality for a lot of people in Cuba right now, and it really puts perspective how quickly everyday conveniences can become luxuries. So Cuba is running out of fuel, and it depends heavily on imported oil. And officials have stated that the country has run critically low on diesel and fuel oil needed to operate power plants. The electrical grid is old. Many of Cuba's power plants are decades old and have experienced repeated breakdowns. So this is not the first time that Cuba has been out of power, but this marks one of the longest times, and really no sign of relief. And that's the difference with this time. It's like really no sign of relief. It's just pure darkness. They're trying to figure out how they're going to keep their food cold, let alone water, bathing, all those things. We're worried about gas prices. They're worried about keeping their country afloat. And talking about gas prices and how it's affecting us, what's going on with gas and E15? Now, I've had several people send me videos claiming a new gas law was passed, and that's why gas is disappearing so quickly, because we've been talking about gas evaporating like water. Now, after looking into it, there's a real push to expand E15 gasoline across the country, and some lawmakers say it's being done to help with fuel supply and rising gas prices during global tensions. But there's also a lot of debate online about what that actually means for consumers. Some people say it's a smart way to increase supply. Others say they're concerned about vehicle performance and long-term effects. Either way, it's another reminder of how much what happens across the world can affect what's happening at our local gas stations. Okay, so it's going down a little bit. Where it was $4.59, it's $4.33, but then in the suburbs here, it's still close to $5-6. Now, I want y'all to check this video out that I happen to scroll past on my For You page on TikTok while I'm outlining for this about the E15 gas. Look at what he's talking about.
Okay, as of 24 hours ago, Congress officially passed a law, officially being the key word, stating that they are now going to allow E15 to be added to fuel and gasoline year-round. Here's what that actually means in English, okay? E15 is ethanol, okay? It is something that they add into fuel to reduce the amount of fuel that you need to use, okay? Now, typically you've seen it before. At a gas station, there'll be a sign on the pump that says may contain up to 10% ethanol, okay? Now, there's been times where companies have put more or less ethanol based on the weather, the season, the heat outside, things like that. Additionally, like I've been talking about for months, there was a time during World War II where the federal government gave oil and gas companies in America permission to add additional levels of ethanol to the fuel in order to reduce the effects of fuel rationing. I have been saying that this had been happening for months since we entered into Iran. This is why you have been running out of gas more quickly. This is why you are experiencing rough idle when you're sitting in the school parking lot waiting for your kids to get out and your car kind of shakes every once in a while. This is why when you turn on your engine, your gas needle drops more than ever. And this is why if you have a car that tells you how many miles you have to empty, it no longer makes any sense. Okay? It is up and down all over the place. It is because you are experiencing reduced fuel efficiency. Okay? Now, as of yesterday, Congress authorized oil and gas companies into America to begin adding E15 to fuel, meaning now we are going to experience up to 15% ethanol. So for those of you who don't know what that means, let me explain how it is actually going to affect you. The idea is you are going to pay a little bit less at the pump, hopefully, okay, if the problem doesn't continue to get worse. Now, you pay a little bit less at the pump, but the side effect of that is you run out of gas faster, meaning you have to put more gas. The last 3-4 months, we've been getting gaslighted into believing that that is not what was happening, but it has been. Everyone has pretty much universally agreed you don't smell gas at the pump anymore. You run out of gas more quickly. Your car is not driving as far as it used to, or now it costs more to fill up, and you got to fill up more often. Okay, it is because they have already been doing this. They are now just realizing they can't keep playing in our face and act like we aren't going to notice it. Okay, so here's what you need to do. Well, really, there's nothing you can do. If you drive an old car, sorry, you're screwed, okay? It is going to drastically reduce the engine life that you have, even if you drive a modern era vehicle. It is going to be very bad for people who drive older cars. Now, if you happen to drive what society would label a beater, you know who you are. Your car is going to start to fall apart very quickly, okay? So you may want to, I don't know, maybe stockpile gas now, if that's an option, or start to develop plans on how you can buy a vehicle that is a little bit newer with a little bit less wear and tear on the engine, because this gas is going to start tearing cars apart. Let's be clear. All right, so
Scary. Because again, like he said in the video, this is not something that has not happened before. This has happened before, and we have to be diligent. We have to be diligent. I just seen also on TikTok a delivery guy talking about be diligent on, he's noticing that people are buying a lot of certain products as if they know something or they're preparing for something. We have to be diligent in knowing what's going on, because that's scary. It's more people with older cars than there were newer cars. So that's something to think about. Now, let's move on to something a little bit more wacky. And it happened here in Michigan, Westland to be exact. Tenants living in the Westland home were unnerved after their security video caught their landlord having sex on in their living room, in their house. Like, just seeing the landlord right there busting it wide open. So a couple in Westland say they asked their landlord to come to the property to deal with birds that had gotten into the attic. While the tenants were at the hospital visiting a sick family member, they received notifications from their home security camera. When they checked their live feed, they say they saw their landlord inside the rental home with a woman engaging in sexual activity in front of the camera. The tenant, Javon Crawford, told reporters the landlord appeared extremely comfortable in the home, which made him wonder whether this was the first time something like this had happened. And the comfortability is that's what's yes, that is a good question. The couple turned the footage over to police. Legal experts interviewed by local media were divided on whether a crime occurred, though some suggested it could potentially become a trespassing or lease violation issue. When reporters approached the landlord for comment, he declined to explain what happened. That man been doing that. He like, baby, I got multiple houses. You can come to this house. He probably married, whole family, whole house he living with his family, and he used his tenant's house as the boom room instead of getting a motel. How trifling. And I hope that something can be done to him, because at this point, the tenants got to have some type of rights. They are paying rent. They asked you to come and do a job, and you came and did something else. Tell me what y'all think about that story below. I got something else more crazy for y'all. So, a Pennsylvania man tears down half of his home while his family was in it. A 48-year-old man from Buffalo Township, Pennsylvania, allegedly returned home after a night of drinking. During an argument, his wife told him their marriage was over. According to police, he responded, "If it's over, I'll tear the house down." He then climbed into a Kubota excavator and began tearing apart the rear section of the family home. His wife and two daughters were reportedly still inside when the demolition started. The damage was so severe that authorities said the home's structural integrity may have been compromised. Nobody was physically injured. He was arrested and faces charges including causing a catastrophe, reckless endangerment, and disorderly conduct. Now, that's my first time hearing the charge, causing a catastrophe. I like how that sounds. More people need to get charged for that, causing a catastrophe. That was ignorant as hell. And I see why she wanted a divorce, because you are irrational as hell. She had a good call, but now, where do your children live? Like, what I'm not liking in this season is it's a lot of men and women, adults out here, who are living and dying crash out dummies. It is more adult age people, and when I say adult age people, you're 30 and up, that are crashing out. It is a sight to see, isn't it? It is a sight to see with the pew pew. um it's every week, every day it's something. And it just, do you guys think about the after? Not even going to jail, because you're going to jail. You're going to jail. They know they're going to jail, because people be saying, I don't care about going to jail. That's not the part I'm talking about. Your kids. So you're mad at her, you unalive her, or you unalive him, and you guys got kids. So now you're in jail and this one is unalive. Do you think about your kids? That's why I say I love my kids so much. I live for them. It's so easy to go to jail. It's so easy to be unalived doing crash out dummy stuff, right? So I say I love my kids enough that I'm going to live for them, and I'm going to do the right thing so I can be there for them. Now, this last one for y'all is, when we talk about living and death, it's very sad. A baby survived 7 days on top of deceased mother. The woman's mother discovered her after not hearing from her child and made the gruesome discovery after 7 days. The baby survived by gnawing on his own fingers. When I seen this, I just had to bring it up because I wanted to just bring awareness, because I was having a conversation with my friend and I'm like, 7 days is a long time. And I'm not saying this to judge the grandmother. That's not what this is for, because what has happened now. And rest in peace to your child and your family, and blessings to that baby, and continuing to pray for that baby and his recovery and his upbringing, because that is going to be traumatizing if he finds out, if you guys ever decide to tell him what really happened. I brought up this story because I see a lot more women without support systems than with support systems. And it's like, ladies, I know, like, if you feel like you don't have family or you don't deal with your family, at least get one person that is a welfare check person for you, especially if you live alone and especially if you have children. Because situations like this, have somebody in your life, a friend, um, you know, even if y'all are just associates, but that's what y'all know each other for. If you don't hear from me in this many days, or this person knows where you are or where you're supposed to be. If you don't have a mom, dad, whatever, family, whatever. I just wanted to bring this story up because I see more women without support systems than with support systems. So this is just an example of why a support system is so great to have, and how imperative it is to create one, because had that child been, passed away, that would have been devastating, and thank God that Jesus and God was with that baby, because on top of the deceased mother, decomposition is happening, the the body is decomposing, all of that is happening, and the baby is surviving off gnawing on his fingers. So, the strength in that baby, the power of God. And I pray for healing for that family, because that is very tragic. Now, you got to kind of exhale after all those stories. One thing stands out to me: life can change in an instant, And one minute people are going about their normal day, and the next they're dealing with floods, power outages, family conflict, heartbreak, or circumstances they never even saw coming. That's really what today's episode is about: the highs, the lows, the unexpected turns that can completely shift direction of our lives. Or when nothing is even happening at all and you still feel an an ick. So let's move on from the headlines to something a little more personal. It's time for the 28th hour of truth, where I get letters of all type of sorts of things going on with my listeners. The 28th hour insiders, where they DM me on my Instagram page at the 28th hour experience, or they email me at the 28th hour exp@gmail.com. Things that's going on in their life. And I think a lot of these letters that I found pertain to our topic today, because we have been going a couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to drop the 28th hour of truths on you. So I found a few that we can go through today, and I want y'all to let me know what y'all think, okay? So the first letter is, subject line is, my husband got a promotion and I hate myself for being jealous. The power and the truth. Dear 28th hour, my husband recently got a huge promotion at work. Everyone is celebrating him and I'm proud of him, but secretly I'm struggling. I've been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. I love my kids, but sometimes I feel like I disappear somewhere along the way. Watching him succeed has forced me to realize how stuck I feel. I don't think I'm jealous of him. I think I'm jealous of the opportunities he has. Is it wrong to feel this way? How do I support him while also grieving the parts myself I feel I've lost? Signed, happy for him but hurting for me. First of all, I want to thank you for your honesty. I want to thank you for the rawness in this letter, because it's a conversation that a lot of people aren't willing to admit or willing to have. And as a mom, as a stay-at-home mom, as a wife, I can tell you, you do lose yourself, and is it wrong to feel this way? No, you're a human. You're going to have human feelings. It's about acknowledging those feelings and changing them if you don't like how they make you feel, or if you're changing them because it's for the betterment of whatever you have going on. So when I was feeling like this in my relationship, as far as feeling stuck, feeling like I don't have anything going for myself, because I stopped working. I'm at home with the kids. I just feel like a mom and kids wipe their boogers on you. You just start feeling like, well, what am I? Well, check this out. I decided instead of, keep, having an attitude with my husband because it's not his fault, he doesn't know. I had a conversation with him. And after having a conversation with him, it was really like, well, what do you want to do? Like, what do you see yourself doing in the midst of doing this? Do you want to go back to work? Like, we went through all the things and, we went through the pros and cons of what my options were. And that's why you guys have the 28th hour experience today, because I was like, well, I need to stop looking at this as a bad thing. It's, oh, you're just sitting around with my kids, because I'm not, I'm really working with my kids, and, this will be beneficial for them in the long run. But I have time to do my podcast, something that I've always wanted to do. So, and that's why it sounds like you didn't watch the episode 31. Please go watch Jakia's interview, where her side hustle, because she wanted more money, she needed more money to pay for, her living expenses and all of that, became her brand, became her bread and butter, her side hustle. For me, this podcast has been therapeutic. It gives me something to do. It makes me feel like I am doing something useful, because people message me all the time like, I love what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing. I didn't know that was going on, and who knew? And all it took was a conversation. So have a conversation, and please come back and tell us how it turned out, because we do recap letters too. And I wish y'all the best of luck. So the next letter is titled in the subject line, I found out my friend has been talking about me for years. We always hate a messy friend story over here, but let's go. Dear 28th Hour, a mutual friend accidentally showed me screenshots proving one of my closest friends has been talking negatively about me for years. The crazy part is she still calls me, comes to my birthday parties, and comments on all my social media posts. Now every memory feels fake. Do I confront her, cut her off, or pretend I never saw it? I don't even know if I'm sad or angry. Signed, friendship fraud. I like that. The friendship fraud sign, but I don't like the story, because who has time to deal with fake friends? Now listen, one, I say cut her off. At this point in time, you've seen it. What is it to confront? She's being a fake friend, cut her off. Another red flag, the girl who showed you those screenshots, she needs to be cut off as well. Because you got this, and were you going to show me this if you weren't trying to prove some type of point? You got to pay attention to the person who carried that bone, okay? Just as much as the person who gave the bone. Get what I'm saying? So, girl, cut her off. It's so many women out here right now that are looking for genuine friendships because they have experienced fake shit like this. They have friend PTSD. It's so many groups out here. Find one that's in your niche, whatever hobby you do, and type it in. It's so many friend groups out here that are willing to, be good friends, have a good time, and not do all of that, because that is high school. You don't want to deal with high school. You a grown ass woman. Don't deal with high school. Okay? Don't deal with high school. Cut them off. Move on. Third 28th hour truth letter. I caught my boyfriend searching for engagement rings for another woman. These men, listen, these letters, it's be like, what is going on? Dear 28th Hour, I brought my boyfriend's laptop and noticed engagement ring searches. Before I got excited, I clicked the tabs and found messages between him and another woman. He has been seeing her for 8 months. We have been together for 6 years. He doesn't know, I know. Part of me wants revenge. Part of me wants answers. Part of me wants to pack my stuff and disappear. What would you do? Signed, not the bride. First of all, everything you need to know when you say you want answers is in the fact that he's willing to marry a woman that he's only been with for 8 months while he's been with you for 6 months. And that's why people say. Men know when they want to marry a woman, so don't waste your time. When you feel like your time is being wasted, you don't have to badger and beg a man to marry you. A man knows when he's going to marry a woman when he wants to marry a woman. That is not the argument. The argument is, am I the one you want to marry? Like, what are we wasting time here? It's about paying attention to those red flags. I don't know what more answers do you want? Because he blankly doesn't care. He's intending to propose to a woman he's been dealing with for 8 months. He's been with you for 6 years. That's the answer within itself. What would I do? I would pack my stuff and disappear, because he would put two and two together eventually that you had his laptop and you saw what you saw. Or you could pack your stuff and disappear and leave a nice note. Nice engagement. Congratulations on your future engagement. Ciao. Fuck him up. But you ain't got to be, you ain't got to go into an all-out war with people going to jail and all that. It's enough people going to jail for doing stupid shit. I just said about crashing out. Don't crash out. Keep it classy and keep it sassy. You can send one good old nasty post-it on the refrigerator, okay? Whatever you wanted to say, and be gone. Make sure he's blocked. He can't get through, Say what you gonna say. You can do a 4-page letter. I don't give a damn. But make sure you leave him alone. Let's go to this last letter. My ex left me and now wants me back because his new relationship failed. Go figure. People always want to go where the grass is greener instead of watering their own damn grass. Let's listen in. Dear 28th Hour, my ex broke my heart 2 years ago. He left me for another woman and told me I wasn't ambitious enough. Now that the relationship is over, he's suddenly talking about how I was the one. He sends long messages about how he's changed. My family says don't do it. My heart says maybe people can grow. What do you think? Signed, the return policy. I think that your family is right. It's been 2 years. His relationship failed, and it sounds like he likes the idea of being in a ambitious and successful relationship. And when that fails to look like that, he's willing to bounce to the next suitor. Just like when he seen baby girl and broke your heart, he thought that she was the best suitor. Now he's looking back and like, oh, well, she's still nice. She's still doing good. Let me go, because she still seems to be a nice suitor. No, leave him in the past and move on to your beautiful future. That is what I think. Honestly and truly. That he is not worth your time. That was 2 years ago. Leave him in 2 years ago. He'll find another ambitious woman. Now, I want to hear from y'all this week. Which 28th hour of truth letter had y'all talking? Was this ambitious man talking before us? Was it the engagement ring fiasco? Y'all let me know which one was your favorite, which one pissed you off. I want to know. The one that pissed me off was this one. The grass is greener, and the engagement man. Don't ever give so much of your time like that, but I'm glad that you did do your homework before you got excited about an engagement ring. And see how that gut feeling, see how that discernment be still working. That was your discernment, like, no, look further. Don't get too happy. So, announcement that I would like to make about the 28th hour experience is school is out, y'all. And y'all know I'm a mama. So, my kids will be here all day. And, summer camp, all the things that come with summer and being a parent. Y'all parents out there, y'all understand. So instead of doing weekly episodes, I will be doing bi-weekly for a little bit until further notice. And also on top of that, with the bi-weekly episodes, one will be dropping at 7 p.m. like now, and then the next episode will drop at 12 p.m. because I wanted to get some versatility. I wanted to shake up the algorithm a bit and reach, more 28th hour insiders, hopefully, So you will get me at night still, and then the people who don't like to stay up late for me, And I am not a late trooper either, so don't feel bad. I will have a 12 p.m. drop, so you can watch me if you're at work, chilling at home, or from my late night, night owls. I'll be here for you Thursday nights at 7, but it will be announced. So today's episode will be dropping June 4th. So you are seeing me June 4th. Hello, welcome to June. The next episode will be June 18th, okay? And that one will be premiering at 12 p.m. So those will be the little changes that happen with the 28th hour experience. Now, again, if it doesn't do well, I will be going back to my normal thing. But we're just trying some things out because we want to shake up the algorithm. And I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and share. When you do those things, it pushes me out in the algorithm. It really helps me a lot, and I would appreciate if you do so. So like, comment, share. I don't care if you comment my favorite color, heart. Just push it through and just share to somebody like, look, see this, look, it helps your girl out so we can get a bigger audience over here. That is the end, but let me ask y'all these things, as we close. What season of life is harder for you? The struggle season where everything is falling apart, or the waiting season where nothing seems to be happening? Because, with the ups and downs and the in-betweens, like I say, you could be so up where you be like, okay, now what? What do I do with that? Or you could be so low and be like, now what? Where else how low can I get? It's different ways to look at it. Now, as we wrap up episode 32, I want to leave you with this. And, this was on my heart, so I'm going to read it to y'all. Life isn't always made up of big wins and big losses. Sometimes it's made up of ordinary Tuesdays, waiting rooms, unanswered questions, and seasons where you feel like you're standing still. If you're in an up season, enjoy it, celebrate it, you've earned it. If you're in a down season, keep going. Some chapters are meant to build us, even when we don't understand them. And if you're in that strange middle ground where nothing seems to be happening, don't underestimate it. Seeds grow underground long before anyone sees a flower. No matter what season you're in, give yourself grace. You're carrying things that other people may never see, and you're doing the best you can with what you have. Thank you for spending part of your day with me here in the 28th hour. I appreciate every listen, every comment, every share, every like, every person who continues to grow with me in this journey. Because it's not easy showing up for yourself. It's not easy being in the thick of it, but we show up every time on here on the 28th hour experience. And like I tell y'all every week, thank you for taking time out of your day to be a part of the 28th hour. Because I just want to be a safe space for you guys to talk about the hard stuff, give you the news with my own twist, because I know it can be daunting. This has been the 28th hour experience, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Now remember, y'all will see me when June 18th. We're doing every other week, and you'll see me June 18th at 12 p.m. I love y'all, and I'll see y'all soon. Until next time, bye.